My name is Jason. I go by Professor Sports Cards. Over the next 10 weeks, we're going to take a look at the current top 10 NFL quarterbacks. We're going to dive into their rookie cards, PSA pop counts, and price. The second quarterback we're looking in this 10-part quarterback series is Joe the Tiger King Burrow. Joe Burrow has a lot of rookie cards, so stay tuned because we're going to go over every single one of them. Joey B was drafted at a time where the world was really upside down on its head.
Joe Exotic for the people of America. How's that?
And even though his first year was filled with stands that were empty, it did not take long at all for the general public to figure out this kid was Joey Cool.
There's significance to the glasses.
Oh no, I just think they're pretty cool. What do you think?
Joe Burrow was drafted in what might be a generational quarterback class. Just 4 years since they've been drafted, both Jalen Hurts and Joe Burrow have went to a Super Bowl. We also have Jordan Love, who we haven't got to see yet. Herbert might be the perfect rival for Joe Burrow, and that doesn't count wide receivers such as CeeDee Lamb and the best receiver in the draft class, Justin Jefferson. Now that we have the greetings out of the way, we're going to jump in, like always, to the most populated rookie card of Joe Burrow. Here's his 2020 Prism PSA 10 rookie card. It's currently selling for $235 with 6,261 copies graded in a PSA 10. It's pretty astonishing because in a PSA 9, that pop count is almost exactly the same as what it is in a PSA 10. Currently in a PSA 9, this card is selling for $62. His next most populated rookie card is 2020 Don Russ, and there are 5,255 in a PSA 10. If you look to the right, you can see there's 3,300 in a PSA 9. In a PSA 10, it's currently selling for $120. By my count, Joe Burrow has 20 base rookie cards, and we're going to be taking a look at all of them. Remember that over this 10 quarterback series, which last week we looked at Patrick Mahomes, we're also going to be looking at two quarterbacks from this 2020 draft class besides Joe Burrow, Justin Herbert and Jalen Hurts. Next week, I'm dissecting Aaron Rodgers, and it'll be nice to see the difference between 2005, 2017, and 2020 rookie cards and pop counts.
Show it to him.
Show everybody. What would you tell this kid right now?
Looks like a national champion.
Rounding out what I consider the three most recognized rookie cards would be his Don Russ rated rookie optic card. In a PSA 10, its last two sales were $195 and $185. We're going to value the PSA 10 at $190. There are just over 3,600 copies graded, with 1,600 being a PSA 10. Comparing these three early rookie cards, we can make one clear observation. The Prism card, it's probably overpriced or overvalued. The optic is still highly regarded and on really nice card stock. Yet there are 4 times the amount of Prism PSA 10s than the optic, and it sells the Prism for more than double the price. I think the future is very bright for Joe Burrow, and that's not really going out on a limb or anything, but I am curious how these Prism cards age over time. Next up is the 2020 Mosaic. This is the first year of Panini Mosaic, and a PSA 10, it's selling for $102, and there's 2,411 copies. Next is the Panini Illusions. There's 2,567 total graded and 1,774 in a PSA 10. We're going to call it or value it at $70. There are just under 2,400 PSA 10 copies of this Absolute rookie card, 2020 Panini Absolute, and it's currently selling for $65 in a PSA 10.
Test your might.
Quickly take any note that you see of the big three or most notable three cards here for Patrick Mahomes, and then we're quickly going to do the same thing for Joe Burrow here. Take note of anything that stands out or what's the first thing that comes to your mind. The most glaring thing that pops out at first is the Prism, of course. Mahomes only has 920 copies graded as a PSA 10, while Joe Burrow has over 6,200. And while Mahomes has 2 Super Bowls, it also reflects in the price the difference in pop count. The other thought that comes to my mind is the Don Russ optic for Joe Burrow might be undervalued. It might be too cheap. There's actually much less of his optic than Patrick Mahomes, and his card selling for only $190 in a PSA 10.
Get out of here, Holmes. Something happens. Why are you mad? You play with your fingers like you banging. Get out of here before something happens to you. Something real might happen to you on this block.
You're seeing things. I was saying hi.
Block, you keep playing with your fingers for
I threw the peace sign.
I'm hanging over here. Stop playing with your fingers.
I was saying hi.
You in the wrong environment for all that. Stop looking at me like I ain't go. Stop playing that way.
I'm gonna go across.
2020 hobby boxes range in price from playoff on the lower end at $500 to the higher end of Prism first on the line at just under $3,000. Everything in between. Optic selling for $1,500 and Select's what we're going to look at next and go over. And currently the 2020 Select product selling for right around $1,750 for a hobby box. Select doesn't have just one base card in the product. They have three, number 46, number 146, and number 246. The three levels reflect seating at a stadium. Concourse would be the base or the most common level, Premier, and then finally field level, that would be the best and most valued. It's also refreshing seeing that the pop counts reflect what's supposed to be the rarity of the card. For instance, the concourse is 3 times more abundant than field level. If it's not enough to track 30 different sets and base cards, you have sets like Select releasing 3 cards. It's really hard to focus on all the extra rookie cards. It would be here all day. This is just the Select Prism and color cards for 2020. And a PSA 10, his concourse is selling for $80. His Premier level is selling for $100. And well, field level, top of the line, right about $120. I try to bring a bit more value to these videos than just rookie card data, and I hope you understand the Select product just a bit better.
Man, y'all don't know what type time it is, man.
Joe Burrow's Kaboom rookie card recently sold for $5,000 on July 1st, 2023. And his downtown rookie card, the PSA 10, well, there's only 33 of them, and it's selling for $3,700.
We're now entering the land of forever.
In this video, we'd be here for hours if we decided to look at every parallel or prism card. So we're not going to do that. But what I want you to see here is the amount of them. Disco, green, hyper, no huddle, pink, red ice, red wave. So there are so many of them. At what point do they stop being rare? I mean, I understand the gold out of 10 or this orange out of 249, but the laser, which doesn't have a serial number, or the light blue. And I think you see the point. Snake skin. So yes, for time's sakes, we're not going over prisms. No, they exist and they are pretty, and there's a lot of them.
We're doing red zone, and you know how Coach O is. He stops the period before we get into the red zone, and he's like, I want good on good, best on best. Patrick Queen, like, just kind of overreaches and, like, hits Joe. And it's not a hard hit, but it's the quarterback. It's crazy. Like, usually you hit a quarterback, the O-line's fighting and stuff. The first person to throw a punch was Joe.
Here's what we have so far. Donruss Optic. There's 1,600, it's selling for 190. Prism, there's over 6,000, selling for 420. In the original Donruss, there's 5,255, and it's selling for $120. Next, we looked at our Select in the 3 different types, Concourse, Premier level, and Field level, and they range from $80 to $120. This next tier we did ranges on the lower end of Joe Burrow rookie cards. While the pop counts are lower, which is a good thing, so is the demand. No one is demanding to have an Illusions over an Absolute, or a Mosaic over an Illusions. So while in Singularity the pop counts are low, there's just too many. We're going to take a look at about half a dozen more in this tier right now.
Hey Joe, I got a question for you. What's your favorite nickname out of all of them that you got? Joe Shiesty? Joe Shiesty.
Here's a look at Joe Shiesty's rookie cards with his college uniform on. You can see his draft picks has over 2,000 and Prestige has under 200. And now that you have that information, it's obvious. I mean, which one would you buy if you had to buy one of the two? Joe Burrow has 2 rookies in score with him in his college uniform. One with his Ohio State uni and one in his LSU uni. He transferred, and go figure, his Ohio State is currently selling for a bit more. Here are 4 more Joe Burrow rookie cards, which at this point you just have to call on the low end. While the pop count on a PSA 10 is relatively low on these cards, no one's rushing out to get these with the other 20 base Joe Burrow rookie cards on top of all the prisms and autographs and patches. As the years go by, will the rookie and stars and playoff catch up to the Optic and Prism? Will many more trickle in to get graded at PSA? Optic and Prism always stay on an upper level and just more prestigious than these other brands? Or will the low pop count, 143 PSA 10s for playoff, will that shine true and age well for that card? These are answers we just don't have, being it's so new and it's only his 4th season and the card market is ever changing. To close out, I'm just going to point out he doesn't have all low-end cards. His Obsidian, well, you could spend anywhere from $500 to $5,000. I very much look forward to revisiting this video and these prices in 2 years, 5 years, 10 years, and see what they look like. Thanks for watching. If you're enjoying, I make a rookie card video like this every Sunday. They do take me some time to make, sometimes more than a day. So all I ask is you hit the like button to help the channel grow and subscribe so you never miss an episode.
What up, everybody? This is Robert Ory, a.k.a. Big Shot Bob, and you're watching Professional Sports Cards. Hey, by the way, go buy my rookie card.